we're back on. Okay, perfect. All right, well then I make the recommendation that council move forward with the adoption of the working alone policy. Can I second her? Seconded by Councillor Woodall. Discussion? All those in favor? It's unanimous and carried. Thank you for answering all my questions on that, Mr. Melkison. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Next.
That council adopt the amended policy 6.2 community center inspection as presented.
Okay, seconded by Councillor Woodall. Discussion? Councillor Ravel?
So this is just kind of refining it, especially incorporating the now recently adopted working alone policy, and just kind of cleaning up a few things. And this is meeting our obligations still of our agreement with the school.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes, Your Worship.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Any other discussion? All those in favor? And that is unanimous and carried. Okay. Moving on to 7.2.
The council adopted amended policy 7.2 command truck as presented.
Can I get a seconder on that? Seconded by Councillor Ravel. Discussion? Councillor Little?
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to add to it that I seen when I was reading through it is it talks about,
the cannabis amendment for you there.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no, that was my only thing, was just putting a cannabis amendment in there, because we got alcohol in there. Alcohol's been legal forever, but now in the last few years, cannabis is legal as well, so. And it falls under that same category as alcohol.
So the amendment now also includes the cannabis in there as well?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just not on this copy on the agenda.
That's correct. We can pass it around if.
Yeah, no, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
My apologies, as I haven't seen the current one here.
That's 21, right?
Does the amendment also include illicit substances?
Well, those are already illegal. Again.
But they are also considered technically a mental health issue under certain legislation.
I think that's a broad language in there, but feel welcome to take a look and see if.
So sneak peek under 21.
Under 21?
Yeah. 21 is what it will fall under.
Yeah.
Yes, Councillor Ravel?
I'm fine with it as is.
I appreciate the sentiment of 21, however, it does include medications that may cause impaired operations. Obviously, there are certain medications, but how do we, human rights piece of ability to take those medications for their own personal health needs as prescribed by a doctor versus ability to operate the equipment? Where's the line there?
Medications come with recommendations of to operate heavy machinery or, so as long as you're following, which come from your doctor, your pharmacist, so you're following doctor's recommendations on your medication policy. My understanding.
Mayor, may I?
Yes, please.
I would like to propose a further amendment that after that clause that says prescription medications, we say prescription medications that prohibit use of operating motor vehicles. I wouldn't like somebody who, has an infection.
Or is taking T3s and it says right on them that you're not supposed to.
Yeah, but I also wouldn't want someone with like a UTI that's, and it's like, oh, well, now I can go to work. Right? So so if we could add that.
This, so this section refers to impairment. So impairment by alcohol, by cannabis, by prescription medication, over-the-counter medication, or any other substance that may impair the safe operation of the vehicle. But do you think we can add more specificity?
Well,
I think it's pretty
Can I see that one more time really quick? I apologize.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty covered. It does, it does state that.
Because that first sentence, these are part.
If I may clarify.
Yes, please, sorry.
As to clarify, I don't see the need to say endorse somebody to use medication that could, impair their ability to operate equipment or a vehicle. Obviously, we don't want to see that. We don't want to have people injured. But I assume that there would be a process where they would approach their supervisor, say the CEO, to discuss, that something of that nature, so that something could be reached, so that they can continue working.
I'm sorry, for the fire service, it's the fire service members also have a duty for fit for duty. They have a fit for duty responsibility. So under their fit for duty responsibility covers a good chunk of this. But and that's when they're on the fire grounds and stuff like that. So really, you can't be on the fire grounds where you're driving the truck. But this is just to cover village property. But the firefighters all have duty, like a fit for duty
And this is regarding the command truck, not just our forward work trucks. Very specific for that.
So like this would be covered under technically two different policies.
Yeah.
Then, because you're covered under fit for duty, because anytime you're driving that truck, you're technically on duty, right? And then under the vehicle policy, and I imagine we have very similar language, if not all, probably have very similar language for all vehicles that operate.
That was originally apply to yourself, your worship. It's just that theoretically it's covered in the substance use policy, you folks should be if wants to go. There's nothing wrong with, extra clarity.
Operating equipment safely is the priority.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the reason why too I wanted to add it into this is we have policies for the village staff. The fire department, they fall under they're non-compensated staff for WCB purposes, so they're not necessarily staff, but for WCB purposes they are.
Yeah.
So it just gives us, it just buttons everything up.
Okay, any other questions?
Your worship, we understand the motion to be on the floor, this council was, policy, policy with the amendment here.
Okay, I'm gonna call the question then. All those in favor? And that's unanimous and carried. Thank you. Okay, moving on to items 10, correspondence. There's quite a few of these actually that I really want to go over. So, Councillor Wall?
I would like to discuss the City of Prince George letter petition to the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General of Canada, and that council received the correspondence from the City of Prince George's information. For now.
How about we receive it for discussion?
For discussion, there we go.
Can I get a second? Seconded by Councillor Rebel.
I think it's really important that our bail system is looked at. A previous job of mine, I worked with people that may have been under the use of illicit substances or experiencing bad things. And what I saw firsthand was sometimes it'd be the same person 3-4 times a day being arrested and released and arrested and released. And I think that really needs to change. I do truly feel that if we strengthened our bail laws, a lot of the crime that we see would go away.
So what I'm looking for from you then, Councillor Wall, is a motion that the village support and sign.
I would like that the village co-sponsor, if possible,
And sign?
and sign. Oh no, we can't. Oh, it's not a resolution.
Yeah, it's not,
It's a
yeah.
petition. I would like to make the motion that the village of Pooskoopi sign this petition
And provide a letter of support.
and provide a letter of support to the City of Prince George.
Seconded by Councillor Woodall, thank you. That was my note, that sounds like. Okay, any other discussion? I'm gonna call the question then. Wait.
I'm just parking it.
All right, all those in favor? That's unanimous and carried.
You never know with him.
No, I always gotta stare at him, really intensely. Don't even start. Moving on to 10.2, request for support for resolution to strengthen rural healthcare. Hang on.
You don't know what she's gonna say.
Yeah. So they're bringing forward the resolution. I'd like to bring it for discussion. Are you still seconding for discussion? Thank you. Yeah, so they're looking for an expansion to nursing practitioner services, as well as an expansion to support of medical professional services from the district of 100 Mile House. I absolutely support this. We're in a little bit of a different situation up here, as our PRRD does support expanded nursing services within the region, plus we have Better at Home, plus many communities are taking on Better at Home, plus we have Allied Health, and they just now opened up the border of Alberta to us. So we can absolutely support this.
We are province of Alberta.
Yeah, but we are sitting a little bit more pretty than 100 Mile is. So I leave that up to you guys. I think we can absolutely support it. What we could do as well, if you're wanting to support the resolution, is it might be too much work for staff though. So I don't want to put it on there. I want to kind of ask Mr. Malcolmson first, but we could kind of like let 100 Mile know some of the things that we've done around here to support rural medical services, because I find a lot of these southern communities, they're very new to the medical issues that we've been experiencing for decades. And we're a little bit more ahead of the game than a lot of our southern community municipalities are. And so I think sometimes they're really just looking for a, how have you made this work? Thoughts and feelings, opinions on that, Mr. Malkinson?
So the idea would be you write a letter to them saying, hey, these are some things that happen in the area that support medical professional services.
Well, and just that, like, we support what you're doing, we totally get it, we've been there. Here's some of the things that we've done up north to also support these services, and, like, does that make us sound kind of rude? I'm just trying to kind of share knowledge, right? I think sharing knowledge is definitely your best way to.
I hope it doesn't seem like a cop-out, because I'm happy to try to gather some material together if you guys want me to. Might be all right for direct outreach to the mayor of 100 Mile. If you're interested, it might be worth a meeting.
Okay.
Which I could help coordinate if you'd like. Or if you want the letter route, like, we'll try to help out on that too. That'd be a figure.
Okay, let me think on that. Let me hear what everybody else has to say. Yes, Councilor Wall.
I agree with Mr. Malkinson that I think a conversation between you and the mayor of 100 Mile House would be very helpful. I do support sending a letter of support because communities in the interior of British Columbia don't have the same access to Alberta. We are very, very fortunate that we have a neighboring province that seems to do more than our own does when it comes to supporting us in certain regards. And they're just too far away to deal with. Like, they're just too far to work with Alberta on this. So it's very important, I think, that we do support this, because if we were in the same situation, I would expect them to support us.
Yeah. Okay.
Or hope that they would, not expect, but hope that.
Councilor Ravel?
And we've barked up this tree before, and there's been a variety of different health resolutions previously. But we shouldn't, I don't want to see us cease our advocacy until everyone has a family doctor, all the hospitals are staffed, and there's no hospital or healthcare facility on diversion. That needs to stop. So I'm in support of these. I'm in support of, opening up educational spaces and funding the institutions for that, expanding nurse practitioner services, the whole litany that this is talking about. I am curious though, there's been so much discussion on healthcare in the past of these resolutions. I'm wondering if these could be repeats or
That's what
similar
I was
repeats
wondering
as
as well, yeah.
I think I'm all for supporting it. We'll keep
Yeah.
barking up the tree for sure, and we shouldn't stop until the situation's fixed.
Yes.
I do think that one of the resolutions is doesn't quite go far enough. Like healthcare, the management of the healthcare system in this province is abysmal, in my opinion. And it's not on the nurses, it's not on the doctors.
No, it's on the province.
It's on the health authority, the management of the health authorities, and it's on the province itself. So we can do all the training in the world. There are nurses that I know that work retail jobs because of they can't handle the environment at Northern Health. So, it's not that we don't have them, it's that.
I think from the discussion I'm hearing here, I think we should write a letter of support, supporting the resolutions that 100 Mile is putting forward, and then I think Mr. Malkinson is right. I think that this would be a great opportunity to connect with the mayor of 100 Mile and talk to him about better at-home services, allied health, and different things that are being provided within the northern region that we've been using over the past decade to support our community members when it comes to health as well. Is that what I'm hearing?
We're not going to solve the problem right now.
No, we're totally not. No. Okay. So all those in favor of both of those things? Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Oh, did I get a seconder on the reach out to 100 Mile and the support? Can I get a seconder on that? Sorry, I don't know. Yeah, Councilor Johnston. Okay.
We were just so sick.
Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. Moving on to item 10.3.
City of Abbotsford request for support at the 2026 UBCM resolutions that council received the correspondence from the City of Abbotsford and discuss.
for discussion. Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Whittle. Councillor Whittle?
The one in particular that I wanna support is,
The
number
PTSD,
2,
yeah.
is the, exempt local governments from expanding provincial sales tax requirements. Right, because any more money we can keep within the village that we can put back towards the village,
Yeah.
right, it's gonna help us.
So I connected with Mr. Malkinson regarding it, because I feel exactly the same way, and we looked into it, and actually endorsing would be a far further step than just supporting.
Yeah, I'd be endorsing, supporting whatever
Okay?
gets
So-
us further.
Are you interested in putting that motion on the floor that we endorse?
Yeah.
I'll second his motion.
Second for endorsement. Okay, discussion regarding endorsing. Councillor.
This is for the PTS.
This is for the-
PST, sorry, you got me
PST.
backwards.
I know,
PTSD.
sorry. PTST, STP.
Well, you know, we could expand it to advocate for exempting everyone from the increased PST, but definitely.
Local governments for sure. You don't get to tax taxpayers 90 times.
Well, that's the problem. The province is trying to implement taxes that taxpayers will have to put the bill on.
Yeah.
Again, it's bizarre, it's absurd.
It is.
I think we should definitely support that one, and I would like to have a discussion back on the pipeline one after.
Absolutely. Councillor Wong?
On number 2 here, the way I see it, for public transparency, and this is gonna sound quite blunt, but is the province is trying to get more money without telling the public that they're going to be taxing the municipal services that are gonna come from your property taxes. So in a sense, they're putting PST on your property tax.
They're taxing
And
taxes.
they're gonna put PST on your property tax, and I will not stand for that. And honestly, if they do this, I firmly believe, this probably should have not the mayor, but I firmly believe that municipalities, if they go ahead with this, shouldn't do it. There's a line, you don't put sales tax on your property taxes, that's ludicrous. I'll leave that there.
It's nuts, yeah. Okay, any other discussion regarding endorsing? I'm gonna call the question then. All those in favor? And that's unanimous and carried. Would you like to read the first one you were interested in?
Sure, that council received the correspondence from the city of Abbotsford for information discussion regarding the engagement on pipeline valuation changes.
So we're already doing that, so we've discussed it, so if you'd like to put forward a letter of support.
Well, I'd like to discuss it this time.
Oh, okay, then bring up your discussion point.
Okay, so they are specifically talking about, the transmission utilities and pipelines and whatnot. However, my understanding of the situation is it actually is redefining the entire utility class. And so we do actually have a utility class in our municipality. We do have, P&G lines, we do have other utilities, and we do actually charge property tax on utilities as a category. So the village actually is, sure, we might not have a pipeline coming right through the village technically, but we do have other versions of pipelines and other utilities that any other municipality also has as well. So I think that we should also support this one as well. It does affect us, it actually does affect us. We do have, everyone's house here has a little gas pipeline that goes to their house, and we do have a utility substation here and other utilities as well, for so on and so forth.
Okay, any other discussion points? So are you looking to put forward a motion to write a letter of support?
Yes.
Okay, please.
I so move that we put forward a letter of support to the city of Abbotsford regarding the engagement on pipeline valuation changes
Can I get a seconder on that?
and utility tax class. If we-
Seconded by Councillor Wong. Okay, any discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous and carried. Moving on to item number 10.4. The council received the correspondence from the BC Council of Forestry Industries for discussion. Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Johnston. The reason why I wanted to discuss this is that forestry management has definitely become a very important topic in the past few years, with the wildfires being a driving force behind the need to manage this issue. I'm a firm believer that forestry got us into this mess in all honesty, with their regulating of controlled burning, which was used by indigenous peoples for hundreds of years, that they then put a stop to. Sadly, they have made it so that forestry is also the only way we're going to get out of this. So, with that, I am in support of endorsing this at this point. As I said, it's very frustrating that forestry has got us here, but they've also put us in a position provincially that they're also going to be the ones that have to get us out of it. So.
I apologize, Mayor, for for this. However, I don't fully understand what they're asking for in this.
So my understanding is that what they're looking at doing is that they're putting forward a forestry solution, and they're wanting us to endorse it in the fact that we're gonna spread the word about it. So like
What
there's.
is the solution?
So their action plan is to speed up access to economic wood by expediting permits for approval, improve competitiveness and cost certainty by reducing administrative blah, blah, blah. It's not that part. It's the, where is it? Hang on, I just gotta find it. No, it's the reducing wildfire risk through active professional forestry management in our backyards. So.
Okay, it's worded a bit confusing.
It is worded really, really weird. So it says why this matters, and then under why this matters, it says many communities across British Columbia, forestry is more than an industry, it's a cornerstone. And then within there it says, it talks about building affordable housing, reducing wildfire risk, supporting families, sustaining jobs, contribute revenues and services, and storing carbon. So it's the part where it mentions the wildfire reduction.
Fire spread the entire province.
Yeah, that's what got me going, yeah, well, you got us into this damn mess, so you better get us out of it. Yes, thank you for waiting so patiently.
The other piece too is this seems like it's a group or it's
This
a
is-
group, not a government, not a local government.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is coming at a time where I'm not sure if they're attempting to have us put forward some motion to the NCLJ or something like that. It seems more like it's worded to officially endorse their project. I think
Yeah.
that we should maybe pause on moving forward with the full endorsement at this time, and maybe speak with our local forestry communities like Shetland, Tumbler Ridge, and so on and so forth, and Prince George,
Yeah.
and kind of gauge with those other communities. Like, yes, I imagine that some folks here are engaged in forestry, but we've got forestry communities that neighbor us. Maybe we should pause on the full endorsement and maybe look into this a little deeper.
Well, so what this actually came from is at the UBCM in 2024, because I didn't go in 2025, but this started from, is it Fortis? I'm thinking of that's the Fortis. Yeah, so Fortis BC began this conversation actually in 2023 at the UBCM convention. I went to the one in 2023 and 2024, sadly I missed the one last year. And it's really just talking about a lot of the issues that the forestry sector is currently facing. Of course, a lot of the communities that were a part of the conversation were obviously Fort St. John, Chetwynd, Hudson Hope, Taylor. We're really talking about what is creating these shutdowns within their communities. Sadly, since then, of course, the Chetwynd mills closed, the Taylor mills closed, Hudson Hope has faced their own forestry issues as well. So forestry is a solution, started as a working group that is basically not forcing, but advocating to the government to take up a lot of the roadblocks that are currently put in. Permitting has become one of the largest issues, just like oil and gas. Forestry has seen like a massive increase in permitting times. So oil and gas, it went from like 250 days to like 728. Forestry's having the same problem, so a lot of them are pulling out and are moving to different provinces and even countries because the permitting is just such a huge problem. Not only that, but then also they're struggling to get permits for forestry management as well, which is that live active burning. They're also struggling to get that covered. So that's how the conversation started. It started in 2023. This working group was then established in 2024, focusing on this, and now they're going forward with it.
One last comment for me is, do you think it'd be appropriate for us to reach out to LP, as they are a local mill, to see if this could, if this plan went forward, how it could affect their business, see if it could help with the management that happens in our area?
I think if you're wanting to reach out, our best step would actually be to reach out to Fortis first. So I would start with Fortis, find out what exactly this action group is, what their action plan is, because there was supposed to be a action plan that was established with this working group. Once we get an idea of the action plan, we have the action plan items, we could actually bring that to local timber businesses within the region, express what the action plan is and ask them if that's actually beneficial.
Well, we are one of very few communities that are still fortunate enough to have active forestry.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine what would happen if that went away.
And so, if you want, we could actually do that. Reach out to Fortis, get the action plan, have the conversation with the local timber sales groups, find out if the action items within the action plan are actually helpful, and then.
Or is it just another regulatory burden?
Yes.
Right?
And then kind of support from there, if you're interested in doing that, if that is kind of a direction council would like to go. Okay.
I agree with more information and talking to different folks in other communities as well, and before full endorsement at this time.
Okay, I would like to put the recommendation on the floor that staff reach out to Fortis, as well as forestry is a solution for BC and for Canada, solutions, to receive more information and more action plans that they potentially have built at this time. And then maybe bring the information back to council. Can I get a seconder on that? Seconded by Councilor Wall.
Your worship, are you sure it's Fortis?
Is it Fortis?
It might be Kofi. Looks like it's
Yeah.
Oh, is it Kofi?
Yeah.
I knew it was one of them.
It might, Fortis might be one of the coalition partners in here.
Okay, maybe it is
But-
Kofi.
Yeah, it's Kofi.
The appropriate
Okay.
coalition partner.
Reach out to the appropriate coalition partner. I couldn't remember who exactly it was. If it was Fortis or Kofi, but yeah.
I think they might be a coalition.
Okay.
Kim Hockstad, from Norwegian, signs off on behalf of BC Council of Forest Industries in this letter.
Okay. So then reach out to them. Are you still comfortable seconding that? Yeah. Councilor Wong.
I would still also like to reach out to our local producer to see once we have that action plan and
Yeah.
ask them directly how this would affect their business.
Well, let's start step one. Let's get any action items that are currently a part of this to find out exactly what they are looking to do with it, and then we can kind of build off of that, I think.
Yeah, because sometimes like you got a big coalition and
Yeah.
it's like, well, how would that actually affect our local business?
Yeah.
That employs so many people, right?
Yeah. Nope. Sounds great. Thank you, guys. That was the information I was looking for. All those in favor? I'm excited to learn more about it, and I apologize to Kofi. I kept thinking it was Fortis, but you're right. I think it is Kofi, actually. It was one of the 9 million meetings I go to. Councilor Wood will experience that this year. It's fun to be me. I'm the one who sits in all the rooms with all the people.
Isn't it fun when they're at the same time?
No, because then I'm running from one room to another halfway
Why
through
would you
each.
pick the one that's more fun?
Yeah.
When they're halfway across.
The one that has, yeah.
You were, sure.
Like I said, I just picked the one that was more fun.
All right, moving on to item number 10.5.
The council received the correspondence from the government to BC for information.
Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councilor Johnston. So you don't want to receive this for discussion, you just want to receive it for information?
Well, let's expand it to discussion regarding the contractor assessment program. I apologize.
My only question that I had is this the part of the new M16 bill? Or M60 or what the heck it is?
I'm not sure if it's legislatively required, but it was forwarded by ARCO, the provincial highway contractor. Looks like they're just seeking some service level feedback. I think it's due in just a couple of days here, so thankfully the timelines worked out to present it to you guys. I did pass this along to Director of Public Works and Fire Chief to see if they had any feedback. Preliminarily, I got a suggestion from the Fire Chief to try to improve sand placements along Jack's Corner and the hill. There's been some MBIs there this winter.
Mm-hmm.
And the note I got from the Director of Public Works is to try to get the province to maybe take a little bit more responsibility, or the highway contractor to take a little bit more responsibility for drainage underneath Highway 2 through Goose. Because that's,
That your car bottoms out on?
yeah, that one. And also, just even the drainage that we saw over the weekend had a lot of water headed right through, 50th there. Right?
tall? It's like 10 feet tall, a berm or a wall?
Yeah, right?
It's 10 feet tall, I think it's only 3, but it's not that my most bottom.
Yes.
Oh, on the side of that fence
So,
is 8 feet.
in regards to this contractor assessment program for the stakeholder assessment, is this to be one submission completed on behalf of the village of Pooskoopie? Are we all individually, or are the citizens and the public to complete this? I'm a little confused as to.
My understanding that this is the CAO and probably Public Works that work collaboratively to put forward for the village of Pooskoopie. Am I correct in that?
That's correct, but we think, you guys get phone calls from residents too, with all kinds of helpful suggestions about the highway, so we definitely wanted to put this on the agenda and see if you had any comments that you wanted us to add in our response.
Okay. Councillor Wolf, don't fall over.
That's very check. Yes, so my concern with this at this present time is it's worded eerily similar to a clause in the private members bill M216.
Yeah, that's what it's on M216. Thank you. That's,
And
I read it and was like,
I've read this before.
yeah,
So-
I also recognize it.
My concern is we have openly opposed Bill M216, and that seemed to have gained quite a bit of traction across the province.
Did it? Oh, well. Yes, Councillor Rebel.
Sorry, I believe this to be something from the province asking how Argo did with the highways this year.
That's correct.
And then the village responds to it. That's what I'm getting.
That's what
I just think it's a survey.
Am I overthinking this?
I think it's just a survey.
I think they get
And I trust staff and Public Works' opinion on it. I understand that, you know, they did a lot. It's appreciated. And I saw folks clearing, you know, after snowfalls and all that. And yes, sometimes, some days, it wasn't as we'd all hoped, but, you know, the wheel keeps on turning. So I'm not sure if we want to, as council, provide specific comments that staff can pass along. But at this time, I think that we could trust staff and Public Works to complete this and submit it so that we have an opportunity for feedback. Because we all, you know, unless there's some anecdotal evidence we'd like to provide, you know. I think that's
When is this due?
Just a couple days from now.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna put the recommendation on the floor that staff and Public Works complete the contractor assessment program stakeholder assessment on behalf of the village of Pooskoopie, and that any members of council can fill this out and send in their comments via email to our CAO. Okay, seconded by Councillor Wall. Yes, Councillor Wall.
In that, can we also make clear that our local contractor is doing the best they can with what the province provides?
We went to the, sorry, I apologize. We went to the Ministry of Transport and asked for more sand, and they said it was a contract that's outcome-based, and they're all doing fine. But we don't get enough sand up here for our climate, and I will die on that hill.
You know what I don't understand is when you cross the border from British Columbia to Alberta and you finally see good, decent winter roads. What is Alberta doing that we don't?
Depends if you're on a primary or secondary highway.
In Alberta, their calculation, this is what I learned when we were at UBC. In Alberta, the calculation is based off kilometers of road and the conditions of the road. In BC, it's based off of population per service area.
That's ridiculous. I just,
Yeah.
you know, you like always see that beautiful line between the BC road and it's like, oh, it's
So we
perfect.
have long roads, long stretches of highway with few people on them, so they get sand per person for us. In Alberta, they get sand per kilometer of highway.
Yes, Councillor Whittle.
You know, to build on what Councillor Rebel said, when we met with the Ministry of Transport when we were down there, the comment was made that, yeah, it's done, like, it's based on, so we did ask them, we were like, so if we have a company from down south that bids on a project up north and they underbid it, it's our citizens that have to suffer because of mismanagement. And they, kind of sheepishly said yes. So, you know, it's one of those things that we did advocate when we were at UBCM, the three of us, when we met with the minister, we did advocate for better road maintenance standards. And I will give it to the road maintenance contractor, we did when they first took over, they actually came in, we called them, they came in, they met with council. We drilled them pretty good, we, you know, highlighted what some of our issues were, like the hill coming into Poos, Jobs Corner, the road coming through Poos. And I have seen a marked improvement on it, especially this year where we've had the increase in snow and, you know,
Ice and everything else, yeah.
I, you know, granted, you know, it's not 100%, you know, it's not perfect, but it is definitely a marked improvement. As somebody that likes to sit there and drink coffee and have a smoke and watch the trucks spin out as they go up the hill and watch the traffic line up from the top of the hill to the top of the next hill, it's definitely, yeah, it's entertaining. And it's definitely gotten better, so I'll give them that. But there's definitely room for.
We did meet with Argo and the district manager for MOTT about a month ago.
A month ago, yeah.
And one difference between prior seasons and this season that the contractor mentioned to us is that apparently the HR firm has dramatically improved for them, where they have more operators that they can kind of call on. So that's improved their timelines a little bit. There's a completely different picture that was painted to me. Of course, was not here at the UBCM sessions that outlined some of the provincial strategies in setting standards for road maintenance, but I was assured that plenty of sand, for the whole area, and that is not a scarcity issue whatsoever. Again, I don't know what the disconnect between the provincial level and the local.
Province wouldn't lie, would they?
But wasn't Jeff's when the vehicles lit off of it?
You mean 2 days ago, 3 days ago? Yeah.
We just had a traffic snake coming in because people were skidding out on the 90-degree here. It's literally like it was blocking us.
Like I said, my truck almost bottoms out on that.
Car.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna call the question, then, gentlemen. All those in favor of staff completing this? And if you have any comments, or you complete the survey, please send it to Mr. Malcolmson so he can include your comments.
If you could kindly do so by the next couple of days here, maybe by Black Friday would be most appreciated. Just don't want to hold it open and then have comments after the deadline to submit. So.
Okay, perfect. All right, resolutions, none. Moving on to bylaws. Move the council adopt the 2025-2029 financial plan amendment bylaw number 1089/2026. Seconded by Councillor Whittle. Discussion. Councillor Rebel.
This is the continual process of us from previous meetings, simply amending the financial plan to include the purchase of the properties in the north of the village. So we had some good discussions on this, and we're just making sure our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed.
Yep. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Unanimously carried. Thank you. Moving on to administration reports. Move that council receives the public.
You missed financial plan. 10/9/2026.
Oh, sorry. Yep. Okay. Perfect.
We need that.
Can you take that away, please, Councillor Johnston?
The council read financial plan bylaw number 1090/2026 a first time.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Seconded by Councillor Whittle. Discussion. Councillor Rebel.
What is the proposed property tax increase to satisfy this financial plan bylaw?
For each year after this year is 2% according to the report that was put forward.
2.
Am I wrong?
Nope. No.
Oh, okay. I was like, I read it. It said 2%.
I was going to tag on to that, Your Worship. It's a 5% blended rate for 2026. Assessments are seeming to hold at about a general increase of like new value plus increase in assessed value at about 4.2. So the effective mill rate is probably going to hover around 0.8%, but that will be fleshed out more firmly when we do tax rates because it's just financial.
So from our previous discussions, we're actually calculating the increase differently than the previous years where before it was purely a mill rate increase. We're going with the fractional CFO's analysis that the 5% is actually a holistic increase due to BC assessment property value increases, plus the village mandated bylaw passed potentially mill rate of 0.8%. So truly it's the village deciding on 0.8% for the 50% portion that the village collects with 53 cents per dollar.
Please.
Through Your Worship, the strategy that we've had in developing the budget this year has been what are the costs that we're going to see, what are the services that are needed to be provided, and what is the revenue that's municipal general tax revenue that's required to get us there. Assessments nor mill rates notwithstanding, right? That can come at a later point in the process. So the revenue required through general municipal taxes is a 5%, full stop increase. But yeah, we're projecting that it'll be about that 0.8% or 0.8% mill rate increase.
Yes. Councillor Walt.
So just to confirm that this, hypothetical situation, someone pays $1,000 in property taxes. If we approve this, their tax rate should be $1,050.
$50?
That's a very defined number, and I.
Well, that's 5%. So we're seeing a 5% increase in the dollars they pay, not a 5% increase in. So like the 5% increase in the dollars they pay because the assessment went up, so we're getting a little bit more money from that assessment, and we're adding a 0.8%, roughly. So
A number of variables, but in that scenario, there's a scenario where that could work out, yeah.
So we're seeing so if somebody's paying what they're paying from last year, they should see roughly a 5% increase on that number.
Distribution varies heavily
Yes,
in the
it is.
residential class, but yes, If that was the median.
That would be the on average.
If that
Or
was
the median.
Yeah, if that was the median, then yes.
Yes, so if that's the median, then yes, some will be less, some will be a little bit more, but that's the median.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm that, so it's not, oh, my assessment went up and now I've got my property,
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you'll hear that, I'm sure.
Oh,
you're
either
gonna-
way,
yeah.
but yeah, I just wanted to confirm.
Yes, Councillor Rebel?
And this would be the same increase across the board, obviously not considering each specific property valuation, but an increase across the board for all types of classes, be it commercial, residential, industrial, so on and so forth. This is a standard across the board increase.
Your worship, yeah, I believe that's how that'll work out. Yeah.
That's what I believed with it too, yes.
Not particularly focused on, say, the residential class, which is
No,
2/3 of the
it's all-
properties.
It's all classes.
We're not singling any, I haven't gotten any leads from council so far in this process, and you want to single out any class or disproportionately put anything on any classes.
Okay.
I will be voting in opposition. However, I do appreciate the work done to compile this. I do appreciate the projects that we're funding. However, I've never voted for a tax increase.
Stuck your head in that dirt pile and you refuse to take it out. Gotcha. Anybody else? Yes.
I will also vote opposed, because I do believe that there are areas that we could cut.
I hate it whenever you say that because it's so not true. Absolutely.
I didn't say
It's
there's
the
areas
one
you
thing.
think we could cut, I said there's areas I think we could cut.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we could cut services, we could stop plowing snow, we could stop picking up garbage.
We could cut the
we
library.
could Stop mowing grass.
We could get rid of the museum.
We could get rid of the museum, we could get rid of the library, there's a lot of services we
Yeah.
could cut, but if we wanna keep them open, we need the money to do it, and this is how we get the money.
Just kidding.
All right. I'm not gonna have this argument, we have it every year. I mean, call the question. All those in favor? All those opposed? Would you like your opposed noted?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry for
Okay.
being a smartass.
Moving on to, recommend that council read financial plan bylaw number 1090-2026 a second time. Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Whittle. Discussion? I know you're gonna vote opposed.
I am going to vote opposed, but I have one more discussion. I thought I was going to say it the first time, and then I didn't.
Okay, yep.
Part of the other reason I'm voting opposed to this is because if the provincial government goes ahead with their PST on professional services, this might totally need to change. Is that not true?
Yes.
Your worship, that changes, as it was currently announced a couple of weeks ago, is expected to take effect October 1st. We're going to try to front load our engineering service work this year as much as we can to all be either invoiced, wrapped up, or billed to try to limit the impact on the budget. That said, I think the projection that we had from Josh was, around, $10,000 to $20,000 to year end.
Wow.
I'm gonna hope it doesn't go forward. I'm just gonna hope we're all gonna lobby like crazy and all the governments are gonna get mad and something is actually going to be done.
Does the provincial government in this province ever listen to anyone?
No, generally not. But I'm a hopeful bee, so.
It's it's not insignificant by any stretch. Again, it's just a lot of it's already been said, but it's not just engineering work. There's notions out there that need to be capital work. Perhaps the CFO, even your relationship there would change as well. So it's a pretty big hit where things go. But this is another scenario where you guys get the cost and the angry taxpayers, and the province gets to close its deficit.
Yes, Councilor Wall.
If members of the public are watching this, I would highly suggest that they call or email the Minister of Finance on this if you don't want to be charged PST on your property taxes.
Don't want to be taxing property tax.
You want to be taxed on tax.
Yes, Councillor Whittle?
Yeah, so just for the record, I'm gonna be voting in favor of the financial bylaw because I believe it's important to keep the village going and also to keep our administrative staff going. So all this advocacy work that we keep asking staff to go back and research and do, we need to pass this budget so we can afford to pay staff to do it and maintain the service levels within the village. So for that reason, I'm gonna be voting in favor of the minimal tax increase so that we can continue the advocacy for the village of Goose Goopy and its residents, which we're elected to do.
I'm going to call the question. All those in favor? All those opposed? Would you like your opposed noted?
Yes.
Okay. You want to read the third one?
The council read financial plan bylaw number 1090/2026 for the third time.
Okay, I'll second that. Discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Would you like your opposed noted?
Yes.
Very much. Yes, Councillor Whittle?
Can I make a motion that councillors that are opposed to the budget aren't allowed to add anything that will increase the budget?
No.
I like
Which
Gentlemen?
includes adding more work for administration.
Save it for the back alley like everybody else. All right, number 13, administrator reports. I move that council receive the public works report and the fire department report and for information. I want you to do your verbal. Seconded by Councillor Whittle. Discussion. All those in favor? You're in favor of that, Councillor Whittle? Yeah, that's unanimous and carried. So CAO report.
Thank you, Bridget. My apologies, just as we got close to posting the agenda.
You had such a busy day.
I ran out of
felt
time
bad
on
for you.
the Monday there to get it out, but I'll just go through it. If anything is, I know it's late, if you guys, this is familiar territory, you just shout at me and I'll stop talking. We did have some drainage challenges last week. The wind accelerated the melt, so we did have some overtime trying to prevent some houses from flooding. There were a few different spots. Power outage on Saturday also exacerbated stuff quite a bit. We had a few sun pumps fail, and that caused some folks to, get right full up. But obviously it's unclear when folks are all stressed out about that who the culprit of the water issues are. So we try to activate to make sure that we're doing our darndest to demonstrate that.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep the ditches clear. We're trying to keep things flowing. We did, so we had power outage last week. The week before we also had a power outage for an extended period of time, which had Chad losing a little bit of air. We were getting a low temperature alarm up at the water tower there. So we're trying to work some, Chad's starting to think about some ways that we can have some redundancy for heat up there. And we'll probably flag that in conversations with the city of Dawson Creek over the next little while. But we also did try to run the EOC here. I think it was last week, Wednesday, to try to workshop some power loss scenarios. And the illustrative thing to me was just how reliant we are on external providers to try to make things go in that scenario. Incredibly reliant. So partnerships are super important for any emergency response that the village has that lasts more than just a couple of days or a couple hours. We've had a lot of whiplash the last few weeks, like the warming and the freezing, etc. You guys know this, a lot of folks know this, but I'm just saying it for emphasis. The moment we get more snow, the policy says that we go over and start our process again. When things melt and freeze, we have to start the steaming process and de-icing process and the tough spots all over again. It is nice, and we wish that we could get to some of the lower priority items like moving snow from certain parts of town and getting it the heck out. But the nature of the whiplash that we've had just kind of forces us to go back to square one
Each time. Yeah.
We had a good conversation earlier this week, or actually just yesterday, with some other local governments about some potential for regional water partnerships, whether that's collaborating on credentials for EOCP designations, Environmental Operator Certificate Program designations to operate water or wastewater facilities. or elsewhere. So we'll keep having some conversations over the next little while. I'll keep you guys in the loop as things develop. Fire department's been uniquely busy recently as well. They've had a few medical assists and MBIs. They had a wonderful training session over the weekend. It was a 2-day thing that we partnered with a lot of, I think we had Moberly Lake, we had, oh man,
Kelly Lake.
no, not Kelly Lake.
Tom's Lake?
John's Lake, yeah.
A lot of lakes.
We had a number of different departments that were present, doing that training, which was pretty neat. Yeah, some pretty enthusiastic folks there. We had our first business walk with Kaya last week as well. We're starting to meet up with a few different businesses to see what's important to them. Also trying to identify the revitalization tax exemption program that you guys are considering and the business facade improvement program, just to see if there's anything we can be doing better. Canada Day planning is underway. Urban with zoning bylaw, we're getting close to the end on that thing. I think I'm pretty sure they're basically gonna say, here you are, good luck. So we'll, hopefully we can navigate with council once we get that final to them, but prelim to you guys draft to, get over the finish line. Met with Iron Wolf recently to go over some summer plans and review the draft 5-year plan identified as a part of their MOU. I will be presenting it to you guys pretty shortly here for your consideration of approval. Iron Wolf seems pretty excited about it. So, water and sewer capital improvement plan are off the ground. We have POs and scopes of work set for those that you guys have already approved. Fire hall feasibility study, we had the company Design Works. They were here yesterday taking some photos of the site, and we do have a draft of the report in place. So, a few different things happen.
Good. Wonderful job. Thank you so much to you and staff for all your hard work. Okay, moving on to reports. Councillor Johnston, what you been up to?
I've been sick for the last, I'm on my 3rd week, but I think I'm coming on.
I know.
I have had some really positive feedback on our last Village Voice and the budget, and the way it was laid out. It was very well done. So kudos to you guys on that. And other than that, I have nothing else to report.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that people are happy with the layout. I thought it was really
Yeah, I
good.
got it well too.
Councillor Rabble, what you been up to?
Lots of conversations that have been formed how I've approached the meeting and the different comments that I've made. And so, yeah, just lots and lots of conversations, but no actual work.
Well, that's still work. It's just a different form of work.
Yeah.
You're a politician.
Yeah, talking is work. That's
I did a lot of research for this meeting too. I thought it'd be more divisive. But,
Okay, Councillor Wall.
So we do a lot of research on property rights and the land agreements that have been published regarding the province and the federal government and the First Nations communities, and that information informed the resolution that I put forward today. A lot of like when I talk about a lot of research, I'm talking probably 20 to 30 hours of research in the last week to get that done. Lots of conversations, so been very, very busy on that. I've also heard back from a couple of residents regarding the mailer, as Councillor Johnson has, and very, very positive. And I sometimes seem to be the one that everyone complains to.
Your number's on a bathroom wall somewhere.
I have not had a single complaint.
Somebody took it down. That was so nice of them.
I got 2 compliments, if you can believe it. Actually, it's the first time I've ever gotten a compliment.
Good.
So I got 2 compliments, and yes, just because I vote against the tax increase, part of that is I'm fundamentally opposed to it. I don't necessarily agree with property taxes in general, but that does not mean I don't support the overall. We have whittled it down quite a bit, and we have found places to save. I just think we can go look for the result. But I think the public input I did receive was very positive, and I think we should go ahead and do that every year.
Yeah, no, wonderful. Well, that's fantabulous. Okay, and then, where are we at here? Ooh, I've lost my spot. Councillor Wendell.
Not a whole heck of a lot this last week, and then even the week before, I was not feeling the greatest. Actually, that's why I missed the last council meeting. I wasn't feeling well. I also missed the museum meeting that I was supposed to go to as well. But I did touch base with Les just to give him an update after I talked to Mr. Malkinson and got the update from the last council meeting, so I did pass that along. But yeah, between not feeling well and load on my knee, I didn't go very far very fast, so.
Awesome, well, thank you. All right, well, just because none of them said it, but I attended the public budget session. So
Oh,
did
yeah, we all did.
Was that
many
between
of
the
you.
last meeting and this meeting?
Yeah, it was on the 24th.
I
Yeah.
thought it was before the last.
Token
meeting.
thing.
That was that day that I looked
Yeah.
at crap.
Did I go to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, that's the
Yeah.
one at the community center.
Yeah.
I also went to that, add that in, Jim.
I would like to thank the staff for all of the work that went into the public budget hearing. It was very well organized and informative. Sadly, we did not get the turnout that I was hoping for.
What, 3 people?
And we may actually have to look at moving to just doing it via Zoom. I'm not going to continue to pay to rent out the community center to 3 people. So we may have to either look at moving it here or moving it to a virtual.
I'm spitballing here, and I know I shouldn't do that, but
No,
the
please
person
do.
could even have a budget week where we put up posters in here.
Yeah.
We'll put on coffee, if anybody wants to come in,
We need to find something else.
We could switch it up.
Yeah, I'm feeling like that is not working. We've tried, we definitely did not get the turnout I was hoping for.
I would say it was how many dollars?
And so, 500 at least, and so I really think it would be beneficial to maybe switch things up for the 2027 year. But other than that, fantastic work done. I'm glad that everybody's hearing positive things about the mail out. I know it was extremely well presented, and so I'm glad to hear that the public is enjoying it. I also attended a special board meeting at the Peace River Regional District for the regional budget. I'm not sure if everybody's watched it yet or not, but a large focus of the conversation was around the sub-regional recommendments. And it was a very interesting hour-and-a-half long debate about whether or not they should increase it by almost $2 million. And I was happy to see that the PRRD chose to not increase the amounts of the sub-regional function and to stick with the current budget amounts at this time. This has definitely led to a larger conversation being pushed by the city of Dawson Creek to flush out the current draft MOU that is still not finished. So I don't think it'll be the last that we have heard regarding this $2 million that they're really badly wanting. But for this year, we are safe from a 15% immediate increase to our taxpayers, which is what we were potentially facing.
I'm not sure if this is the appropriate question, however, I am genuinely curious if that was unanimously opposed except for the municipality that was asking for the money.
Yes,
Good.
that was unanimous. You should watch it. It was very interesting.
Hour and a half of it, yeah.
I assume that's the way it was gonna go, I just haven't actually seen it.
Mr. Malkinson was like texting me while he was watching it, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh!" It was really good, and very interesting. It was nice to hear everybody's. The issue with the discussion is that the sub-regional rec agreement as it is really only stands for the village of Pooskookie, Area D, Area C, and the city of Dawson Creek, yet all of the Peace River Regional District Board was asked to weigh in on whether or not it should be increased by $2 million. Frankly, did not appreciate that.
There's a bit of an adoption or an administrative irregularity in how that service or function seems to be triaged,
Yes,
where it goes to the, I believe, electoral directors committee,
and then,
prior to submission, which circumvents POOS entirely.
yes,
Usually the regional district on sub-regional services, the participants that are stipulated by bylaw are able to.
are the ones who weigh in and on that.
Yeah, which
Not.
POOS is currently excluded from.
Well, Dawson would be cut out of that too, if it goes to the directors.
Well, am I,
And Dawson's the biggest user of that fund.
So the sub-rec
you got opposed.
So the sub-rec committee MOU is definitely something I'm going to be working really hard on to make sure that we are properly represented, because currently I feel like we're not.
Doing research has been pretty illuminating on
Yeah.
this item. Like, obviously, this thing is
Well, we
Yeah.
spent, what, 2 weeks researching it, at least?
Yeah, there were there is some data that we gathered to try to make sure the PUSA's position from an advocacy perspective was solid. There's also a couple of really interesting beats, particularly the fair share agreement seems to incorporate amounts that are given via this wrecking culture agreement. So if there are future adjustments, then maybe there's adjustments on the back end via a fair share. Right?
Yeah.
So it's intricately.
It's a very interesting conversation and dynamic that's currently going on. So I'm going to be working really, really closely with that coming through this next year, as I think it's going to be a very constant topic of conversation. So we're going to be talking about it quite a bit. So if you guys are ever bored, feel free to read the sub-regional rec agreement between us and the PRD in the city of Dawson Creek. It's a very interesting read.
Are we in a position during the next conversations regarding that to provide the city of Dawson Creek with the services that we provide their residents as well, that we receive no compensation?
We've already done that.
Okay.
And it was a very interesting reception. Anyway, another thing, I met with the Pouskabee Elementary School staff regarding the legacy project in the community. We chose the theme. Drum roll, please, gentlemen. Our theme this year is the history of the village Pouskabee. So rather than doing a colorful mural, this year it's going to be in black, white, and gray. And it's going to be a historical image of one of our historical buildings from the village Pouskabee. We're also going to be reaching out to the Dawson Creek Historical Society to work with the elementary school to learn about the original history of Pouskabee prior to the building of the Alaska Highway.
Cool.
Nice.
I'm so excited about it.
Always hate correcting you. Self-Peace Historical Society.
Oh, shut up. Whatever, you know what I mean.
I'm gonna hate this, but.
Them's fighting words.
Them's fighting words, true. Yes, so I am super stoked. The grade 6-7 teacher, when I told her that I'd like to see it in black, white, and gray, was even more excited because she was like, I was so worried it was going to be another colorful one and they're all going to start looking the same. And I was like, nope, we're switching it up, black, white, and gray, and it's going to be on the history of Pouskabee. So they're going to learn about the courthouse and the hospital and the police station, the gallows, that's right. So I'm excited, and so is she. So
And the first liquor store.
great.
They're
They're going to learn about the history of the heart. So there's going to be a lot of different things. So I am really, really excited. I was so stoked to phone Mr. Malkinson and tell him this, and you know, I got, oh cool. You squished me on that day. Squished me.
I can't always match him.
He was not matching my vibe. I was a here, and he was a here. And I was like,
I call him before 9 a.m.
I was like, are you having a bad day? You should be as excited as
It's
me.
like Tigger and Eeyore. It's like, stop, you gotta do something completely different, you know, it's all good. I just need to get better at that, yeah.
I gave him another shot. I was like, hang on, let's start over. I'm gonna re-say it. And he was like, okay.
I love it so much.
Sarcasm.
Almost.
I think it's a wonderful idea. I think it's great, and I'm
I'm so
really
excited.
looking forward to it.
It's gonna be
It
awesome.
really is.
So,
Are you working with the museum as well on that?
yeah, we're going to be working with as many people as we possibly can. They are going to plan a field trip, and hopefully Mr. Deus will be over there, and he can give them the whole rundown for the entire 5-hour day. That's what I told she needed in minimum. No offense. He's a wealth of knowledge. We should record him at that time. I'm telling you. Don't get started. So I met with my staff for our weekly meeting. I did agenda prep with Mr. Malkinson. And then today, I was so disappointed. So today I attended the floodplain mapping in British Columbia engagement session this afternoon.
Yep.
Are you about to be absolutely depressed? Are you ready?
It's all municipal responsibility now, province.
No, I was so excited. I was like, floodplain mapping, this is so awesome. I can't wait. It was a 3-hour engagement. I logged off after an hour and a half.
Cool.
What it is that the ministry and the province are creating an interactive floodplain app.
Oh, okay.
I was so sad. I was like, I kept waiting, and I'm like, this is gonna be something cool. Something cool's coming, and then no.
Is there anything behind it about the responsibility they're taking on like interactive floodplain mapping, like coordinated floodplain mapping across jurisdictions?
So they mainly focused it on down south communities.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Flooding,
So
yeah.
there really wasn't much regarding northern.
Didn't they announce an app in 2021 or 2022?
No.
So whenever there was the flooding, I think it was 22 or 21.
It was 22.
There was the flooding down south.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
There were jurisdictional issues between the local governments and the province about who should be actually mapping these things out.
So they're now working with the First Nations governments
Okay,
to map it out using their land use planning.
but coordinated approach administered by the province.
Yes.
That's the beat. I think
Yeah.
I'm not sure if or Director of Public Works was in on that or not, but.
My understanding from the hour and a half I attended, that I was utterly disappointed, was that the province is creating this app.
That's good.
They're working with, it's gonna be interactive. Their hope,
Not nothing.
it's not nothing, but it wasn't what I was hoping it would be.
No, it is nothing. They announced an app that they announced 4 years ago. That sounds pretty nothing to me.
You know, I sat there for probably the last 15 minutes and was like, okay, what was I expecting? And I think I was expecting
Supports funding.
supports and funding. I was expecting supports and funding. I was expecting more,
Storm system.
Yeah.
yeah, just more than what it ended up being. It was very southern focused, and I was just like, this is so depressing. So I just logged off.
Welcome to BC.
I mopped my tears, and then I went for a nap. It bored me to death, but yeah.
Are we still running into issues with floodplain mapping and not, like, the province does mapping over the entire province. There's
Yeah.
different layers and different expertise in ministry environment, so on and so forth.
Well, we were never really struggling with floodplain mapping. What we're struggling with is just flood mitigation due to aging infrastructure. Floodplain mapping was never a big problem that Puskubi had. I was just thinking, I don't know. I don't even know what I was just sad.
Everyone knows where it floods.
Yeah.
It's just stop it from flooding.
So anyway, I don't think it would be worth the public. I don't think it would be worth the time of the public works director to go. It's today and tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like keep your eyeballs out for when the app is officially finished. It is going to be updated in real time. They are putting larger setbacks on certain, specific floodplain known areas. And they're really just categorizing it on, which ones are the most prominent, which ones are the most severe. They're extending those setbacks on those, but there's no huge impact to properties it was sad. It was not. I was just like, and I'm done. Yes.
It just sounds like the suggestion is if you think you're flooding and you see water, check the app to confirm. Is that one of these moments?
No, basically what I got from it is if you're a community that's built directly on a river or a lake. So Fraser Lake, perfect example, okay?
Yeah.
So Fraser Lake, if they're expecting a large weather change, they can go onto the floodplain mapping app and it will tell them the expected flood impacts in real time. Does that make sense? It's that.
So they're basically taking the river monitoring data that's already publicly accessible and they're just making it.
They're taking from one
putting it on an app.
Yeah.
Because they already have flow data for.
Yeah.
There's a ton of data out there. We know
It
exactly where
didn't
it
talk about any
The low spots.
additional,
It's gotta do-
emergency flood funding. It didn't talk, that's what I was looking for. After dealing with the lagoon for the past 3 years, I'm all about, okay, when we do flood, because it does happen everywhere, what kind of money are you gonna give to me? That's what my brain, I guess, this was really
Or
like.
even what type of infrastructure are we planning for?
Yeah, and it was just, this is our really cool app.
Well, that
It's
was,
3D, it comes with colors. It's probably costing $5 bazillion.
It's 4 years later.
Well, it was one of the things we looked at the lagoon and that was the concern, that's why we riprap the whole thing. Is
Yeah.
Because we were like, okay, well, 2016 happens again.
Yeah.
We're safe and sorry, yeah.
So anyway, that is what I did this afternoon, and I was bugged. That's me, that's what I've been up to. Question period, nobody's here, so I'm gonna make the recommendation that council move into a closed meeting as per section 91C of the community charter, labor relations and other employee relations. Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councilor Whittle. All those in favor of moving into closed? There you go. We're gonna take a short break before the close.
Did you talk almost